Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Philsonians, and to our visitors, no, mga participants. Magandang gabi naman po sa Pilipinas. So, today I'll be discussing significance of workplace safety inspection. So, ito embedded to sa pagiging safety officer. Okay. So, ako po si Albino. I'm currently working at the Dubai Municipality as a Senior Occupational Health and Safety Officer. And likewise, ako po yung current president ng PhilSA. No? Para po sa kalaman ng mga nasa Pilipinas, yung PhilSA po stands for Filipino International League of Safety Advocates. SEC-registered po kami at ang purpose po ng organization is to help our country in the Philippines, no? To elevate yung OSH standards. No? So mga po sumusunod sa amin o mga members, we are hoping na someday mas maging active po tayo at makasama namin kayo sa purpose na yon, no? Yung may angat yung standards ng safety sa Pilipinas. So the objectives of the training, after this training, participants will understand the importance of safety inspection. Bakit po ba siya mahalaga? Then the basis and purpose on why to conduct safety inspection, as well as the mechanism in doing safety inspection. So more on safety inspection po tayo, we will not be discussing about audit, no? Kasi medyo magkaiba po yun. So to start with, no, as a safety officer, magkakanda ka ng safety inspection. For example, as you can see in the photo, merong excavation activity. Ano po ba yung mga basic, no? When there's an excavation activity. No? So dito po sa Dubai, ang basic po niyan ay alamin po natin kung yung approvals, no, o yung NOC, yung no objection certificate or clearance na ini-impose ng mga concerned authority. For example, of course, excavation, meron yung digging, drilling, baka matamaan nila yung yung mga electrical supply as well as water pipeline, no, yung roads, baka magkaroon ng mga detour or magkaroon ng obstruction. So yan po yung mga nire-require. Nakikita nyo sa picture. Dito po sa Dubai, ang RTA, ang DEWA, ang Dubai Municipality, ay nag-i-issue ng mga approvals prior sa inspection, prior sa excavation activity, no. Ang nagiging role naman ng safety professional, of course, is to conduct inspection kung nako-comply naman yung requirements as well as the standards. So I will show you this video related to sa safety inspection conducted by OSHA. No? Just watch it.
Today? Huh? Who's in charge today? How you doing? I'm in the state of Oregon, OSHA. Looks like you got a little bit of a shoring problem going on. Well, he can't be down there. Okay. How are you going to get him out? Shoring or what? Jim, just don't hook that thing. Sorry. You want to see why he can't be down there? That's why he can't be down there. It's still sheep. You gotta go in. Okay, you gotta get him out. And I hope you get him out soon.
So as you can see in the video, no, kaya ako pinalabas, no, kasi I was the one inspected this activity. Actually, RTA project to, no. Then nakita ko yung excavation na to the point na pumasok siya sa namin, sa property ng DM, no. So chinik ko, nakita ko yung hinuhukay nila. So wala rin silang mga control measure like yung shoring, no. Lalo na they are planning to dig more than 4.5 meters additional. No? But syempre, ang basic naman yan, you have to check yung mga documents, as well yung testing ng soil. No? So, yan yung kahalagaan ng inspection. So, in doing or in conducting site inspection, you can consider siguro yung the past, present, and future. No? Ano po ba yung pwede natin i-consider when talking about the past? No? Siguro yung accident history. No? Ano po ba yung mga nangyaring accident? Bakit siya nangyari? And ano yung mga naging dahilan? No? So, yun yung significance ng site inspection. You have to consider yung accident records para naman sa present, ma-identify mo na no, yung hazards and risks na present naman sa mga activity as well as the operation ng workforce. No? Then yung future, anong dapat i-consider doon? Yung mga control measure. Dapat for you to be able na ma-assure na yung goal ng safety is achievable. For example, dapat meron kang mga suitable control measure na dapat i-consider. So sa safety inspection, dapat natin tandaan yan, yung consideration of the past, present, and future. Okay. Then legal basis. No? So what are the legal basis para mag-conduct ng inspection? For example, no, tanungin natin si Sir Raul. Sir Raul, ba't ka ba nag-i-inspect? Ano po bang mga dahilan ba't tayo nagkakandak ng inspection?
Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Unang-una, bakit tayo nag-i-inspection is para ma-verify natin kung yung from the risk assessment, yung mga hazard na na-identify tsaka na risk is napafollow yung control measures or kung may bago pang mga ma-identify na pwede natin incorporate. And then at the same time, monitor natin yung pagtatrabaho ng mga tao. Yun po.
Yun, malapit na sagot dun. Thank you, bro. Kasi iba raw, kaya raw sila nag-inspect para di raw sila masilip. Para raw masabi nagtatrabaho sila. Anyway, just joke lang naman yun. So yung legal basis, no, sa mga activity dapat natin or operation, dapat alam natin kung ano yung legal basis. For example, if you're working in the Philippines, no, pwede natin consider yung RA 11058 o yung DO 198. Actually, sa Chapter 4, Covered Workplace, naka-state doon yung duties and responsibility ng city officer. No? Ang nakalagay ron is frequently monitor, sasabi, and inspect any health or safety aspect of the operation. So, may legal basis din when it comes to safety inspection. Ayan po yun. Then, another thing is yung dito naman sa Dubai, we can refer also sa Code of Construction Safety Practice, yung Chapter 2, General Safety and Health Provisions. No? Naka-state dun sa 2.4.4, the contractor shall conduct frequent and regular inspection of the work sites. No? So mandated siya. No? Kaya sa mga audit o sa mga labor inspectors o sa mga government compliance officer, yan kagad ang tinatanong nila, no? Sa mga representative, sa mga HSC representative, kung mayroong mga regular inspection o frequent, mayroong inspection program ang mga company. Okay. Then another basis, no, yung law of the land. Of course, Federal Law number 80 dito sa UAE. No. Ang nakalagay dito is every employer must provide adequate means of protection for the employee from the hazards of injuries and vocational disease. No. So dito hindi na mention inspection. No. Pero ang nakalagay naman dito is to provide adequate means of protection for the employee from the hazards of injuries. So, pwede ba natin ito i-consider? Yes. No? Bakit kamo? Kasi yung safety inspection mismo is a method. No? Siya yung method or mode for you to identify yung hazards And once you identify the hazards, obviously, it will go on to protect the workers. So it means you still are complying with these requirements of the law. Kaya nga, even sa sinanggit nga ni Sir Raul, no, yung risk assessment, ano po ba yung first step sa risk assessment? No? Identify the hazards. Okay? Magkaroon ka ng hazard assessment, ano po ba yung una? Identify the hazards. Magkaroon ka ng hierarchy of control, ano po ba yung mga requirements doon? Eliminate the hazards. Di ba? So it's more on hazard identification. Kaya nga ang mode of conducting hazard identification is equal talaga sa safety inspection. No? So yan po yan. Yan yung pinagmumulan yan. The moment na na-mention mo yung hazard identification or identification of hazards, accompanied na yan ng safety inspection. Baga embedded na siya. Okay? Malinaw po ba? Galaw-galaw lang yan.
Yes.
Ayun. So what is safety inspection? Okay. So na-mention ko na nga, no, na parang embedded na yung safety inspection for us to have a protection. No? So a safety inspection looks for safety hazards and unsafe practices throughout a facility. Okay? The inspection should determine whether safeguards are in place. No? So yun basic na. No? Meron bang safeguards? Particularly sa mga machine. No? Yung machine guarding. May tinatawag na fixed guard or temporary. No? May mga interlock na tinatawag. Then examine whether the equipment presents any hazards. No? For example, yung mga crane operation natin. Bakit may mga nagto-turn over or overturn o nagtitip over, no? Anong mga dahilan? Bakit yung mga slings bigla napuputol? Tested po ba siya, no? So yun yung mga consideration when it comes to safety inspection, no? Then yung gather air, water, and other samples, no? To test for hazardous substance, no? Ito importante rin to, part din to ng safety inspection, no? Chine-check natin yung mga documents whether meron silang mga kinandak na sampling, no? For example, sa water, importante sa mga drinking water, even sa air, no, sa pollution, kasama yan sa mga testing. It depends sa industry. Okay? Then of course, to observe work practices to identify unsafe actions. So when we say unsafe actions, no, obviously there's an involvement of a people, no, or a person or a workers. Kasi unsafe act nga eh. 'Di ba sabi nga nila 90% of accident happen due to unsafe actions, no? So, yun po yun ang mga bagay na ino-observe natin, no? So that's why ito yung dahilan why we are doing safety inspection. So inspection, okay? There are many synonyms for inspection. As you can see, meron pong assessment. It can be investigation, an observation, a view, for examination. So from the chat room, I want you to at least type which one you prefer, yung pinaka-synonymous, no? So sa word na inspection. I-type nyo lang po dun sa chat area. Then let's see, no, kung ano po and para ko makita ko lang po kung ano po yung dahilan. Okay? Sige po, paki-type lang po. Problema, hindi ko nakikita yun. Okay, observation, no? According to Sir Roy. Kay Eugene, examination. Kay Dice, probe. Then assessment naman kay Sir Joseph, no? So let's start with Sir Roy, no? Sir Roy, why do you think observation yung pinakamalapit na term na ginamit nyo? Although marami naman synonyms sa inspection, no? Bakit po observation?
Primarily kasi most of the time, although it's not always, but during the inspection, you're using all your physical senses. Mata, ilong, lahat ng ways to um, perceive kung ano man yung nasa paligid mo. And with regards dun sa action ng tao, syempre mata. So I believe yung inspection primarily ay dahil ginagamit mo yung principle of observation. At this point, you are not evaluating because you're not comparing anything. As what Sir Raul said, you're just trying to check whether the control measures that have been identified in the risk assessment is being followed. And as what you have just also mentioned in your one of the previous slide, you're trying to examine also what are the things that are available in the area. So, yung testing kasi, wherein one of that is, yung prerequisite of that is, yung sampling, will only happen after the inspection has been carried out because there are some methodologies that needs to be taken care of. So, yun lang po.
Thank you po. Thank you. Si ano po, si Sir Devan Rick, no? Sabi lang niya, hi po. Hindi. Si Sir Ryan, Sir Ryan, bakit naman po observation? Parehas din po ba kayo ng reason ni Sir Roy? Hello, sir. Medyo wala akong pumapasok, no? Naka-mute po yata kayo. Hello. Okay, sir, medyo wala akong pumapasok sa sinasabi nyo. Admin, ano kayang ano? Okay, sir, si ano na lang po, si Sir Eugene. Sir Eugene, bakit naman po examination yung term na ginamit niyo?
Actually po, lahat po yan nakapaloob talaga sa inspection. Pero since na sinabi ng inspection, dapat clear po dyan na examination ng kuhan. We have to examine everything.
Okay.
Yan sa simple examination.
Okay, thank you. Tama naman sinabi ni Sir Eugene. No? Actually, even sa technical guidelines ng DM, no? When it comes sa mga... Sa ano po, sir, naka-open po yung pa-unmute lang po.
Saglit po.
Hello? Okay, meron pa yata isang nakabukas. Ito, tama po sinabi ni Sir Eugene. Examination, no? Since lahat naman siya synonymous, no? Sa inspection, no? Examination, isa yan sa ginamit na term when it comes sa mga lifting gears, no? And lifting equipment, no? Ng DM guidelines, no? Yung periodic examination, no? Ng mga lifting. So, okay po tayo. Si Sir Diaz Dais, probe yung ginamit niya, no? Bakit naman po probe, sir?
Sir, sa akin po, tama naman po lahat, pero sa inspection, upon stating this sa checklist natin, we have to prove kung napapalo yung lahat nasa checklist o hindi. Yun lang po.
Okay po, sir. Simple lang na probe. Pero in addition siguro yung term na probe, mas effective din siya sa mga accident investigation, no? Wherein yung mga sinasabi ng mga witnesses, you have to verify, no, or probing yung mga sinabi nila as well as the evidences. Okay. And then si Sir Joseph, kamusta? Bakit po assessment yung ginamit natin?
Hello sir, gandang hapon po sa lahat.
Gandang hapon.
Normally lahat na nakapaloob dito sa inspection we are all correct depending on the type of activities that we have to inspect. But normally for site inspection, we normally assess whether we follow the safe system of work depending on sa kung anong activities meron nakapaloob dyan, whether they are in compliance, whether it's properly investigated, hindi wala siyang deviation sa method statement in this assessment. So we normally conduct proper assessment kung safe siya sa mga tao for them to work in such a way lahat ng mga hazards are carefully identified. So whenever I do site inspections, so normally ina-assess ko muna yung compliance ng lahat ng mga activities nila if they follow they follow all the protocols as per authorities, as per yung approved method statement, shop drawing. So with proper assessment kasi lahat ma-identify mo if there is further need for observation, investigation, or what other things do we have to examine. We check and further ipo-probe siguro natin later on kung yun nga, if they are in compliance with proper authorities. And then we conduct further survey kung ano yung pwede pang i-add as sa mga engineering control. Then we scrutinize. We scrutinize further yung mga procedures, especially if there are a need for further emergency arrangements site. So normally I do it first with assessment, proper assessment sa site inspection.
Yes, thank you, Joseph. No? Si Joseph Sarinuyang city practitioner, no? Sa mga main contractor ng mga government project. Actually, tama yung sinabi niyo, no, assessment, because as I have mentioned in my previous slides, nabanggit ko nga na yung hazard assessment is equivalent to safety inspection. No? Kasi nga, when the term assessment, either i-refer mo siya to risk assessment or hazard assessment, ang laging first step niya is hazard identification. So, thank you. Then si Sir Rizaldi. Sir Rizaldi, kamusta po sa Pilipinas? Ano po yung check? Hello Sir Rizaldi. Apo.
Hello, sir.
Sir, apo.
Parang,
Bakit check po ginamit niyo po?
kumbaga sa term na, ano nga bang, ng check? Sa Tagalog ay, pag ano ba, ganun, medyo malapit din sa inspection, kaya check. Usually, yun yung,
Okay.
ano natin dyan, terms. Narinig niyo po ba ako?
Oo. Check. Tama rin naman sinasabi ni Sir Rizaldi.
Kasi sa security terms yun.
Okay.
Yun po yun, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Rizaldi. Apo. Tama rin naman, no? Mostly sa mga security personnel, mga right term na ginagamit nila instead of inspection, they are checking. No? Ang problema lang po niyan,
Yes, sir.
ang problema lang po niyan, sir, pag check ang ginamit mo, kailangan mo ng ballpen.
Oo, yun na.
Joke lang.
So ngayon naman ano naman na tayo sa amin, medyo digital na rin, kaya nababawasan na yung ballpen. Pero pwede pa rin na yun.
Ayan. Yun ang malupit, no?
Kailangan pa kumbaga sa risk assessment pa, sir. Yun. Kailangan pa rin, di pa rin talaga yung ballpen.
Totoo. Okay, sir, salamat po sa mga nagbigay ng kanilang pananaw, no? Actually, if you notice, no, yung inspection nasa gitna, then we have some words na synonymous, no, sa word inspection, no. Pero merong isang missing, no, na nagpapatunay na magkaiba talaga yung inspection, no. Ano kaya 'yun? Sino kaya makakasagot doon? Pag nakasagot kasi meron siyang libreng palakpak. Okay? Siguro yung nawawala po, no, as you notice, yung salitang audit, no. So this proves na ang inspection at saka yung audit ay magkaiba. Kasi napansin ko since I started working as a safety practitioner, no, as safety officer, then nagtrabaho ko sa iba-ibang industry, no? They thought na ang inspection at ang audit ay isa lang. So ito po yung nagpapatuloy. Okay? Then when do we do safety inspection? Okay. So at na-mention nyo na naman po lahat, no? Okay, yung unang sagot ni Sir Raul per se, no? When do we do inspection? Of course, example nito sa risk assessment. Okay. This can be past, present, and future, no? Either way, pwede kang before your safety inspection, pwede kang tumingin sa risk assessment, no? And then at present, pwede mo naman siyang dalhin to use, no? And for verification when you are doing the safety inspection. At ang future way naman ito is when you are preparing or what they call this one, conducting a risk assessment, embedded naman yun na dapat you have to start doing a safety inspection, no? So dito makikita mo na siyempre andito yung hazards, nagkaroon ka na alamin mo yung activity, no? So dito once na merong ng activity based sa risk assessment, for example working confined space, no? And you are doing safety inspection, ano ba yung basic info, no? Or basic documents as well yung mga information na dapat mong alamin. Siyempre sa working confined space, alamin mo if they are following the confined space program, no? Yung safe system of work as well as yung mga hazards if still present, no? Then check mo naman yung control measure if they are following, if it's suitable or not, no? So diyan po nakapaloob, no? So this is the way when do we do the safety inspection. Kaya po na itong nakikita nyo sa photo, no? Nakikita nyo kagad na may hazards, no? During your inspection, no? Nakikita mo yung sitwasyon, magulo. So ang pinakasagot diyan gaano ba kadalas ang minsan, no? Kailan ka ba dapat mag-conduct ng safety inspection, no? When we say frequent, no? As mentioned sa legal basis na binanggit ko, frequent, no? Dapat frequent siya. So can be kasi meron tinatawag na ongoing na ongoing na activity, no? So dapat yun daily yun. Meron naman na nagkakandak ng weekly, merong manually, merong monthly, and of course yung periodic na tinatawag nila. Especially kung mga external company o from outside the organic company yung magkakandak ng ng safety inspection. Okay? So where do we do safety inspection, no? Of course, sa workplace. Kasi nga sabi where So sa workplace, when we say workplace, andun yung activity, mayroon tao, may machine, may process. Pero as a basic, I want to show you this one technique, no, to answer this question, where do we do safety inspection? Okay. For example, meron kang Google Earth, no? Since wala ka, nag-request ka sa engineering, nag-request ka sa IT, no? I need a layout plan, no? Ng planta, for example, o ng company itself. Kaya lang wala mag-provide sa'yo. So, pwede kang pumunta sa Google Earth, then search mo, no? Then from there, makikita mo sa Google Earth yung exact location ng yung overview ng company mo, no? So from there, pwede kang gumawa ng hazard mapping na, no? Saan ba yung mga identified hazards mo? No? So ito yung nagiging result ng inspection, di ba? Kasi hindi mo naman mailalagay yung mga identified hazards mo if you didn't do the inspection, no? So, for example, yan sa mga area na yan, yung red, nagre-represent siya ng mga fire hazards, no? Bakit kamo? Kasi ang basis mo, meron diyang mga chemicals, may hot work activity, okay? From time to time, may mga bagsakan siya ng mga delivery ng mga flammable materials, no? Second, mas mainit sa lugar na yan at marami siya mga combustible items, no? So pwede mo i-consider yan. Okay? For example, yan yung mga activity sa loob, no? Nakikita mo yan. Then another thing, no? Yung health hazards. Okay? Hanapin mo naman paano mo ma-define, no? Bakit siya health hazards, no? Maaring masyadong maingay doon, no? So, ano pa? Marami activity ng mga equipment, no, that cause yung yung vibration. Okay? O baka meron ding radiation activity, no? So ayan po, for example, no. Ayan. Of course, yung mga safety hazards, aalamin mo rin kung nagtatrabaho sa working at height, yung the way they position yung mga materials or equipment, no? Yung mga movement, no? So makikita mo kagad. Then yung environmental hazards din, no? Paano ba nila minamanage yung waste, yung air pollution, no, ng activity, ng process, ano ba paano tayo yung adverse impact, no, o effect, no, ng mga activity sa environment. Okay. Then lastly, no, yung collision hazards, no. So, as a safety professional, I suggest na mag-start kayo lagi sa gate. Mag-start po kayo sa of course sa entrance tsaka sa mga access, yung mga nung company nyo, kasi diyan po nagsisimula eh. Isang example niyan yung nangyari sa sa Suez Canal ba 'yon? Isang example niyan, no. The moment na na-block nung ship yung yung daanan, no, wala na. So this can be applied sa in a micro level, no, sa company for example. The moment na ma-block na yung gate due to accident, wala na makakapasok at wala na rin makakalabas, no. So ayan po yung niyan. Okay, what is the purpose of inspection, no? Ano po ba yung mga purpose ng inspection? Okay, first you have to pay attention to the concerns of workers and supervisors. Totoo to, no? Anong nangyayari sa akin to when I receive some complaint, no, from the workers, no, na sinasabi, sir, yung supervisor ko ako lagi inuutusan sa taas para umakyat to meron po akong lula, no? May takot ako sa heights ako pa rin yung no. So at least you have to go there, no, and look at it and check whether yung verifiable ba yung concern ng worker or even the supervisors. Kung nagko-complain naman siya sa utos ng management na to the point na ko-compromise yung safety niya, no. Okay. Then what else, no? Yung gain further understanding of jobs and tasks. Ito naman kung baguhan ka. Baguhan ka employee, bago ka sa company, okay, experience ko pagdating sa manufacturing, no? Sa isang planta, sa fabrication. Okay. Then suddenly, napunta ka sa isang chemical industry, no? So, as a new employee or new safety officer or inspector, no? So, kailangan magkanda ka ng safety inspection para matandaan mo, no? Mapamiliarize ka sa process ng planta o nung company na pinagtatrabahuan mo. Then identify existing and potential hazards. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. Embedded siya yung hazard or risk assessment, no? So from there, with this safety inspection, you could easily identify, no, ano yung mga potential hazards. Determine underlying causes of hazards, no. Siyempre ito, ano ba yung nagiging cause ng accident, no? Baka hindi natin alam yung mga pinag-uugatan niya. So for example, merong nahulog, no, using the ladder. Okay? So ano yung mga underlying cause nun? Bakit na yung ladder, no? Bakit siya nahulog sa ladder? Doon ma-realize mo na inadequate pala, no? Or there's a lack of inspection conducted sa mga ladder. Baga daily naging activity na lang siya na to the point na yung mga ladder gamitin na lang ng mga worker, no? Okay? Then to recommend a corrective action, no? Again, no, when we say corrective action, ay sana, sabi nga ni Gary Valenciano, sana maulit muli. Pero dito sa safety, hindi na dapat maulit kasi corrective action na siya. Hindi na siya dapat naging practice. Then monitor steps taken to eliminate hazards or control the risk. Okay? So yun yung mga purpose, no? While we are doing, what is the purpose of inspection? Okay? Then why safety inspection is important? Ito isa sa magiging rason. No? Minsan masakit pag ang contractor, kung subcon ka lang, safety ka ng subcon, safety ka ng main contractor, at safety ka ng consultant. No? Magkakaibang level nyo, no? Meron isang safety ron na pwedeng utos-utosan lang. Meron naman isang safety ron na talagang may power, no? So, ang tanong dito is why safety inspection is important. Okay. In terms of principle or in a safety perspective, we can use the acronym double P's, no? Yung P, no? Ano po ba yung una? No? Protection. So, why we are doing inspection? Una po yung protection. We have to protect the lives of the people, no, working in our premise or facility, no, in our company per se, no. We have to protect, of course, yung reputation ng company, no. Otherwise, it once na magkaroon ng accident or incident, no, it could damage the reputation of the company. We have to protect them also from paying fines and penalties, no. Kung yung mga hazard na ignore ay nag-lead sa accident, no. Then another P is the prevention. Okay, we are doing safety inspection to prevent, of course, accident to happen, to prevent malpractices, and to prevent yung negative culture, no, in your organization. So yan po yung mga dahilan bakit tayo nagkakandak ng safety inspection. Okay, bakit po siya important, no? And of course, no, yung pinaka-ultimate goal ng safety inspection is to prevent accident, no? Ganyan yan. Kahit na po involved lang po ang asset, no? At lalo na kung may fatalities pa, yun ang problema, no? So ang ultimate goal po ng safety inspection is to prevent accident. Okay? Klaro po tayo ron? May tanong? Okay po ba? Wala pong tanong? Okay. Mamaya na yung iba. Basta i-type nyo lang po yung mga queries nyo po. So how do you plan for inspection? Okay, they said planning is essential for an effective inspection. No? Pero how do we plan, no, for inspection? Okay, every inspection must examine who, what, where, when, and how. No? So who? Sino ba yung mga involved sa inspection? No? Sino ba yung mga stakeholder? Sino yung affected ng mga activity? No? What are the activities? No? Where is it located? Are they working in the hazardous condition? Okay, when? Are they working night shift? No? Are they working a split shift like this? And how? No? How they do the job? No? So yun po yung mga dapat natin consider when we are planning a safety inspection. No? I-explain ko po later yung iba na ito. So workplace elements, no? When we say workplace elements, ano po ba yung mga workplace elements? Of course, merong people, no? May workforce, merong process, merong materials, merong system, no? So yan po yung mga workplace elements, no? For example, itong photo na to, as you can see, no? Merong worker, merong equipment, and they are in the environment, no, where hazardous conditions are present, no. Then may mga movement siya, no. So yan yung mga workplace elements. But the question is, when we are doing inspection, ano po ba yung mga consideration? What are the priorities na dapat natin bigyan ng pansin, no? Okay, since sabi nga nila inspection, dapat naglalakad-lakad ka. Okay. So you have to go to MIP Street. Ito yung palatandaan natin, no? Yung MIP Street. Diyan ka pupunta. Actually sa safety, they call this MIP, no? MIP or MIPS, no? Ito yung acronym na ginagamit nila for them to identify yung hazards when they are doing whenever they are doing a safety inspection. Okay? Yan po yung ano. So yung materials, okay, equipment, environment, people, system, no? Ano po yung T? Yung technology. So yun ang tatandaan natin. Whenever you want to identify hazards, consider MIP street. Whenever you want to conduct inspection, consider MIP street. No? It is the avenue for you to at least ensure that you can protect your employees uh, from any accident, okay? And you can prevent any hazards, no, as well as the risk, no? Okay. So MIP, no, start with the materials, no. Pag sinabing materials, alam naman natin yan. Ano ba pag sinabing materials? It can be solid, liquid, or gas, no. Paano ba nila store yung materials? Are they obstructing yung access? Is it considered considered as a fire hazards? Baka naman may mix ng ano, na-mix na yung flammables as well as the combustible materials, no? Tapos yung mga important items na hindi dapat na-expose, no? Sa for example sa mga oils, sa mga grease, or even to the environment, no? So yan yung mga consider natin for us to have a recommendation, no? Yung M is stand for materials. Another consideration yung mga chemical, no? Okay, yung mga hazardous product sa materials. Kasi ito naman talaga yung madalas na ano na yung pinaka high risk, no? For example, yung ngayon nangyari sa ammonia, no? Ammonia leak, no? Doon sa may Nabotas plant, no? Isa 'yan sa baka medyo due to lack of safety inspection, no? Hindi nila na monitor yung mga materials if they are properly stored, no? Or in conformance ba sa standards ng GHS, for example, no? Okay. Then yung E stand for equipment, no? MIP street stand for E is equipment. So yung mga equipment, syempre yung mga cranes, even yung mga powered tools can be considered, no? Paano ba natin gamitin, no? Who is operating this equipment? Tested ba siya? Calibrated? Nag-undergo ba siya ng testing ng third party, no? Bakit third party ang nire-required, no? But hindi yung organic quality engineer or even the safety engineer sa loob, no, ng company, no? Kasi para walang bias, no? At saka mandated naman talaga na dapat third party ang nagte-test ng mga equipment, no? So yun dapat i-consider natin. Baka masyado ng luma, pwede natin i-consider na palitan. Otherwise, kung bago naman, tama ba yung nabili natin na ano? So we have to refer, no, sa product details. Okay. Sabi nga rito, know what type of machinery or equipment is present, no? Review technical data sheets or manufacturer safety manuals. Okay. Yan po yung mga consideration natin sa sa equipment. Even the location of the equipment, no, during this movement, no, dapat i-consider natin, and the one that is operating the equipment, no. So related na siya. Ano po yung wala dito? Bakit to kasama natin to sa hazards, no? So ito nag-delete siya, meron siyang lifting activity pero walang safety latch, no? Yung anchor nung niya, no, nung hoist niya, no. So ito sigurado na isa na rin to, pwede na siyang talagang hazards na rin to, no, can cause accident, no. Okay. Of course, another E for the MIP street is environment. As you can see in the photo, no, merong welding activity or hot work activity. They are inside the pressure vessel, no. Mainit sa labas, 45, 46, no. So yun yung mga consideration, no, when we talk about environment, no. When we say environment, you can refer to hazardous condition. Maaring sobrang init, sobrang lamig, no? Maingay ba, no? Siyempre, minsan may mga pag-welding mo, may pupuk-puk-puk ka pa dyan, eh. So, yung echo, no? Yung tinatawag nila alingaw, di ba? So, yan po yung mga consideration sa environment. Then yung P, no? Yung people. So, ano po ba yun sa people? Of course, yung behavior. Obviously, no? Isa ho yun. Kaya nga, when we say unsafe act, involved na dyan yung people. Yan ho yung madalas na cause ng accidents, no? People. Siguro consider mo rin, no? Yung ano niya, paano niya ba parang ano ba tingin niya sa safety, no? Ano ba yung level of ano niya, understanding? Kaya siya nagbe-behave ng ganyan. Otherwise, you can also consider when it comes to people, if he is physically fit or mentally, mentally fit din. Kasi minsan, bigla na lang. Especially ngayong pandemic, no? Obviously, maraming bigla na nagwawala, no? Dahil nabawasan ng sweldo, walang sweldo, i-terminate, no? So, ito yung mga consideration natin sa MIP, no? Yung people. Okay. Kita mo si Kuya, no? Yan muna ginamit niya kasi mababa pa siya. Nung nataasan na, nagdagdag na siya. So, ayan po, no? Nakikita niyo. Okay? Hanggang sa umakit na siya. Okay? Yan po yung mga consideration natin. So, tapos na tayo sa MIP, no? So, you have to go with S, no? Stand for system. Ano po ba yung system ng company when it comes sa activity? For example, itong mga nasa picture, no? They're working confined space, no? Do you have a permit to work system, no? Baka wala kayong implement na permit to work. Maybe we can consider also yung procedures, no? As well as yung processes. Nasusunod ba yung mga safety procedure, no? So, dapat malaman natin during our inspection, no? If the system is in place and if it needs improvement, this is something that we should be at least familiar, no? So, somehow, kailangan din talaga na expertise na when you are doing a safety inspection. Okay. Yeah, for example, ito, no? System, no? Meron kang permit to work. Of course, you have to test during confined space. Nag-required ba kayo? Mandatory ba yung testing ng atmosphere, no? To check yung mga toxic gases, no? Or even yung sa oxygen. Baka walang masyadong yung below standard. Minsan nasa 18.5 minsan na-test mo, no? Ang minimum standard when it comes sa oxygen for you to be able na maka-perform ng duty, no, is at least 19.5 and maximum of 23.5, no? So, yun yung halaga, no? So, important yung system, no? And lastly, yung technology. Okay, technology, of course, naka-importante ito. Actually, ngayon, nag-uusap tayo because of technology, no? No, but of course, if you refer to safety inspection, may kita mo na dapat kahit may technology, i-monitor mo pa rin. No? As you can see in the photo, no? For example, may activity sa kaliwa, no? They are working sa chamber, mababa, no? Pero because of technology, now they can use yung yung tinatawag na CCTV, no? So hindi na kailangan during inspection, hindi na kailangan bumaba ni tao, no? Hindi na kailangan bumaba ng technician to check sa ilalim, no? They can use the CCTV to monitor kung ano ba. For example, merong leak sa pipelines ng mga sewer, no? So, yan po yung mga dapat i-consider. So, paano natin i-inspect ngayon yung sa technology, no? 'Di ba? Syempre, i-verify natin kung it's working well. Pwede mo ring i-check yung mga manufacturer's manual, yung safety manual niya, no? Then from time to time, pwede mo siyang magkanda ka ng testing. Baka naman ibababa mo siya, pero sa monitor naman sa sasakyan, hindi naman siya lumalabas, no? So, kaya yun yung halaga ng inspection. Using yung MIP street, no? So, hindi na siya MIP, hindi na siya MIP street. Okay? So, okay na po tayo ron, no? Then, how do we do it? No? So, how do we do it? Okay, plan a program of inspection. Sa plan na program of inspection, hindi naman, although meron din naman na tinatawag na routine inspection, no? Meron ding mga high-risk activity na you have to plan. No? Kailangan alam mo kung saan ka mag-i-start. Alam mo per se, no, kung ano yung obstructed na dadaanan mo. Alam mo kung may excavation doon. So, dapat yun, ano mo yun, monitor mo yun. Okay. Then, agree the number of inspector to the team. Minsan may tinatawag na group, parang team inspection, no? May tinatawag na team inspection, no? So, huwag kang magsasama nung tao na parang gusto lang sumama, no? Just to experience or what, no? Unless na may approval ng top management. But you have to consider yung number, baka naman yung dami nyo maging yung pa yung mismo yung hazard, no? To cause an accident, no? So, hindi na-achieve yung purpose ng inspection. Then, coordinate with other inspectors. Ito, importante rin to, no? Hindi porke safety ka, alam mo lahat, no? You have to consider yung expertise ng iba. Particularly, for example, yung mga quality inspector, yung ibang engineers, no? And supervisors, no? Yan yung mga familiar sa area nila per se, no? 8 hours if you are a safety professional, hindi ka naman mas matagal na tulad nila sa certain activities or process, no? So, you have to coordinate with other inspectors. Then, consult the expert or specialist, no? May mga activity kasi na hindi talaga natin kaya, no? So, we have to transfer the risk and hire or outsource the activity, no? So, kailangan na rin yung mga expert, yung mga talagang batikan na tinatawag, no? Then you have to break down the task, no? In break down the task, diyan na pumapasok yung ibang mga methodology, no? Either you have the JHA or the JSA, no? Kasi marami activity na step by step dapat alam mo. Okay? So, this is how do we do it. Then next is okay, the inspection don'ts, no? Sabi nga nila, no? Okay, don't interrupt workers performing critical tasks, no? So, hindi porke safety ka, you are privileged to ask them whenever you are doing a safety inspection. Kaya nga sabi nila, don't interrupt, no? Kasi maraming activity minsan na they have to focus, no? They have to concentrate on what they are doing. Kung tatanungin mo siya, nagtatanong ka when is performing this activity, no? Or the process of, or in the process, no? Magiging cause ng accident, no? So as inspector or you're doing the safe inspection, ito po yung isa sa rule, no? Don't interrupt workers. Okay. Then, don't touch potentially hazardous equipment, objects, or work surfaces, no? Kaya minsan experience ko when I was working sa publication, pag meron kaming mga visitor, no? Mga auditor, for example, binibigyan namin sila ng mga gloves. At least meron na kagad silang protection. Although sa toolbox meeting pa lang, o sa safety induction pa lang, ini-inform na namin sila na hindi nila pwedeng pakialaman kahit na anong equipment. Okay. Then next, don't just perform the quick once over and leave, no? Marami yan. Pupunta, mag-attack na inspect, umikot lang, tanong dito, sabay alis, no? So na-miss niya na, to the point na na-miss niya na yung mga critical activity ng mga worker, no? Na dapat sana hindi nagkaroon ng aksidente kung nag-stay siya ng konti and based on his safety inspection na monitor niya o nakita niya yung mga ano ba to, mga hazard, mga unsafe acts, no, and condition, no. So yun pong ano, don't just perform the quick ones over. Then don't leave serious hazards unaddressed, no. Meron kang nakita na talagang hazards, no? For example, may nagtatrabaho sa ano, sa scaffolding, no. Then nakita mo na malapit siya sa ano, no, sa electrical tower, for example, no, electrical lines, no. Pero hindi mo siya in-address, no. You just only write it down and include in your report, no. Mali 'yun, no. So dapat you have to stop the job and talk to the workers. Para naman at least ma-prevent talaga yung sinasabi ko kanina na double piece, yung protection tsaka prevention, no? So okay, and don't become distracted, no. Nagkakanda ka ng inspection, may dala kang cellphone, no. So instead na gamitin mo pang picture, ang ginagawa mo naglalaro ka pa pala, no. Marami yan mga sanay na maglaro ng game sa cellphone, no. Minsan may mahalagang inspection, meron tawag, nakikipag-usap, no. So hindi, dapat yung focus natin, yung concentration natin in conducting inspection dapat lagi nandun, magiging priority natin siya, no. So yun po yan, yung mga don'ts inspection. Then checklist, no. Andiyan ba si Joel? Wala si Joel, no. Yung checklist po, ito importante rin to, no. So a checklist helps to clarify inspection responsibilities, controls inspection activities, and provides a report of inspection activities, no. So ipapakita ko sa inyo yung checklist natin na bilang example when you are conducting an inspection. Okay. So for example, ito yung checklist mo. Okay. Then of course, meron kang date, kailan ka na-conduct. Better kung meron kang code kung anong number na pang ilan na inspection mo yan. Then yung time of inspection. Yan po, nakapalab yung mga details niyan. At huwag niyong kakalimutan yung location. Bakit importante yung location? No. Isa pong dahilan yan, marami pong nagkakandak ng inspection. Sasabihin nila na, for example, firefighting, fire extinguisher obstructed or blocked by firefighting equipment blocked or obstructed, no. So saan? Kasi kung malaki yung company, for example, and they have different segment of the yung planta, for example, no. Hindi magiging representation 'yon. Magiging representation siya na itong planta na nito, lahat ng mga firefighting equipment niya obstructed, no. To the point na nagkaroon ng emergency hazards na, no. So dapat ilagay lagi natin yung location para at least naman to be fair naman sa company, especially, no. Kasi magkaiba po yung approach ng government na inspector tsaka yung talagang mga company safety officer. Pero importante yun, ilagay natin yung location. So ito yung sample, no. For example, what hazardous act or condition did you see, no? Sa PPE, checklist, no. Kaya nga checklist, checkan mo lang. Sabi nga ni no, ni Rizaldi, no, kailangan i-check, no. So head protection not worn, eye protection not worn, face protection not worn, no. So checkan mo lang naman yan. Then when it comes to tools and equipment, incorrect use of tools in bad condition, tools not inspected. Okay. Then material handling. Okay. Too heavy for manual lifting, incorrect lifting technique. Okay. Lifting tool not inspected, chemicals not properly handled, unsecured cylinder. Na yung unsecured cylinder, ibig sabihin yung cylinder nakatayo lang, no. no? Pwede siyang bumagsak anytime, no? So hindi siya naka-chain, no? Then trailing cables, hoses, no? Okay, what else? Not aware, no? Not informed, language problem, even the barrier, no? Language barrier is a problem, no? Not reading permit. Minsan, you have to ask, no? You have to check your worker. Pabasa mo sa kanya, kung naiintindihan niya, baka hindi naman pala niya naiintindihan, no? Then yung yung wrong interpretation of risk, wrong instruction, yan. Kasama rin yun. Lack of procedure. Okay? Then yung awareness niya, ano ba? Negligence, yung working condition, work site layout, then yan. Then sa housekeeping, wag ko kayo papayag na sasabihin ng iba na ang safety housekeeping lang alam, no? I mean, hindi ho tayo ganun. Kaya mag-attend ho kayo lagi sa PhilSA, ituturo sana namin sa inyo na kung paano mag-eliminate ng hazards, no? Following yung hierarchy of controls, no? Yan yung access blocked by obstruction, tools material disorganized, yan. Then yung permit, no? Yung sa safe system na tinatawag na, no? Work without permission, wrong permit, procedure permit not followed, di ba? Same with the engineering, no? Ano yung mga engineering control na parang ano na siya, na-miss, no? For example, moving parts not guarded, electrical substandard, chemical substandard, no? And other unsafe acts. No? So ito po yung sample ng checklist. Kaya po mahalaga yung checklist, no? Because sabi nga na checklist help with on-the-spot recording of findings and comments, but be careful, no? But be careful, why? Kasi hindi naman ho lahat talaga nagiging cover ng checklist. To the point si safety inspector or officer hindi niya na nailalagay yung hindi nakapaloob, no? Hindi nakapaloob sa checklist. Okay. Yan po yan. Ito po yung fire control plan checklist, no? Same din ho yung principle nung pinakita ko, no? For example, fire exits are not blocked, no? Okay? At all times, daily check the firefighting equipment in the area of responsibility, combustible materials, yan. Yan po yung mga sample ng checklist natin. Okay? So, preparing for safety inspection. Okay na ho tayo sa checklist, ha? So, we'll go with the preparing for safety inspection. Okay? Check the accident book, no? Yun kina sinabi ko, di ba? Yung consideration natin, yung tinasabi natin na the past, present, and future, no? So, ito na nga, no? Sa safety inspection, dapat you have to check yung accident book, no? O tinatawag na accident register. Ano ba yung mga naging dahilan, no? So, when you are doing the safety inspection, alam mo na, medyo delikado rito. Mahirap na, baka ano to. So, kung meron kang team of inspectors, assured na safe din sila, no? Then, even the sickness and absence records, no? Bakit ka mo? Kasi baka critical yung activity, eto si worker, siya ang naka-assign doon. Paktay tayo, no? 'Di ba? Then consider mo rin, no? Prepare mo yung sinasabi ni Raul kanina. Si Raul, yung risk assessment, as well as the safety data sheets and training records, no? Kasi importante yung training records, lalo na kung magkakanda ka ng inspection, yung mga tao hindi pala trained, high risk ang yung condition na yun, can be considered as high risk condition na yung workplace na yun. Okay? So, okay po tayo ron, ha? Kung meron po kayong tanong, mamaya na lang po natin sabihin sa open forum. Then, who should be on the inspection team, no? Of course, lagi nga nila sinasabi. Honestly, ako, since I started working as a safety professional o practitioner, bihirang-bihira, no? Mabibilang lang sa kamay ko that I've done inspection along with the safety committee members, no? But of course, sa mga tinatawag natin ng mga study materials or reference, no? Dapat ang health and safety committee ang laging nagkakandak ng inspection. Ang tawag nga natin doon is management walk around. No? No? So kasama natin yung Health and Safety Committee. Okay. Then other criteria for selecting the inspection team, yung knowledge of regulation and procedures. Kaya nga kanina, di ba, when we started this training, minention ko kagad yung legal basis. Ano ba yung mga legal basis natin to conduct inspection, no? And not only that, dapat alam din natin yung mga do's and don't, no? Aware tayo yung mga mandatory requirements ng government o nung batas itself. Dapat familiar yung taong yun. No? Then knowledge of potential hazards, no? Baka naman yung kasama mo si safety committee members siya yung nagko-cause nung nung hazards, no? I mean is also in danger. Bakit? Kasi umiiwalay siya, may sarili siyang lakad, nagpi-picture, selfie, no? So yun yung mga no? Then experience with work procedures involved, no? Importante ito, no? Dapat yung safety team familiar sa work procedure. Alam niya per se. Okay. What you should do after inspection. So ano na po ba yung magiging natin? No? Of course, we have to prioritize pending actions. Then coordinated management for actions. No? Usually, ang mga result ng safety inspection, since it to become a document report, no? Documented report, dapat talaga ang bawat safety practitioner meron silang mga files din. They have to report this, no, to the management, no? Okay. Then get inspection reports considered at HSC committee. Sino na po ba sa inyo, no, ang nag-a-attend ng safety committee meeting? Meron po ba kayong safety committee meeting, no? Ako per se, lahat ng inspection ko, lahat ng kinanda ko, especially yung mga high risk activity, no, ng company na pinasok ko since I started working in the private company also. Ano ko yan, dinidiscuss ko yan monthly sa safety committee. Initiator ako no? So I make sure na meron kami safety committee. Then ito yung magiging venue for us to discuss, no, how we can protect yung workers and how we can comply with the authority, no. So yun, dapat yan ma-mention sa safety committee, ma-document, ma-record for us to know sino yung magiging responsible person, kailan yung timeline, kailan yung maging schedule for them to take action, no? Yung sinasabi nga, prioritize spending action. Okay. Then our workplace inspection report, of course, you have to suggest possible causes, then recommend corrective actions, indicate person responsible, as I said, no, in my recent slide, and follow up, no. Ito importante yung follow up kasi once you indicate yung responsible person, you have to follow up to him, no, or to her, kung ano na yung naging action to at least eliminate, no, or mitigate yung yung mga identified hazards based on your safety inspection, no? So yan po yan. Then identify location of hazard. As I mentioned, no, yung pinakita ko yung checklist, dapat lagi nyo i-mention kung saan yung location. To be fair sa sa company, kasi ayaw natin magkaroon ng representation na because you write down na merong obstruction, because you write down na merong chemical hazards o merong violation sa isang segment ng company, magiging representation na siya ng entire entire workplace na ganun sila. Unfair yun. Then indicate if repeat item, assess or prioritize hazard. No? Yan po yung mga laman ng workplace inspection report natin. Okay, next. Then as keeping inspection record, okay? Past inspection records show what has been previously identified, no? So nagkakaroon ka ng history, no? Sabi nga na meron kang benchmark. Ano yung naging history nung isang specific process na ito based nung nag-start ka ng safety inspection mo up to na maging 3 years ka, 10 years ka na dyan. Na-correct ba siya o hindi? Mas lumala ba, no? So, yun dun, ito yung kagandahan. So doon na nangangailangan nung safety audit, no. So ito yung sample ng inspection notice, no. Ang kagandahan naman ng meron kang tinatawag na sample inspection ng safety inspection notice. Ang tawag ko rito SIN, no, SIN. SIN, no, safety inspection notice. Kasi SIN kasi nga usually ang chine-check mo yung mga mistakes, no. Although we recognize naman yung mga good practice, no. But ito yung sample ng SIN, no, safety inspection notice. Okay. So for example, no, hello. Okay. Parang hindi pumasok yung ano ko. Kita niyo po yung yung sample ko.
Wala, sir.
Problem, no? Anyway, tatry ko i-open siya. Sandali. Okay. Sarap na eh. Nawala tuloy, Ma'am Juby, kasi ikaw naman eh. Oo. Teka lang. I-share natin sa screen. Safety inspection notice. Kita na po? Hindi pa rin. Okay.
Meron na, sir.
Yun. So ito yung sample, no? Ito yung company, no? For example, PhilSA, International League of Safety Advocates. Then we have the Occupational Health and Safety Management System, no? As per recommended by our Dr. Roy, no? So ito, SIN. So based on your inspection, no? I-record mo ngayon yung mga safety mga safety observation mo. For example, ito nasa picture, no? Sa storeroom, okay? Black firefighting equipment, okay? Not inspected another one is not inspected periodically based on your inspection, no? Then poor housekeeping, ayan. Ganyan po tayo magawa ng record, no? Improper storage of materials, then sa publication area, working at height more than 2 meters with a suitable platform and fall protection equipment, no? So once na-record mo na yan, syempre safety tayo, dapat may technical know rin tayo sa paggamit ng alam mo na, ng computer. Alam nating lagyan ng para naman yung presentation natin sa pagsasabit ng mga reports masarap tingnan ni management, no? Okay. So once na-identify mo na yan, na-record mo na, ilalagay mo ngayon dito yan. I-address mo ngayon, magkakaroon ka ng code. For example, today is 09, no? So parang SIN 00001, for example, no? Okay. Then lagay mo na ngayon yung date. Lagay mo yung date dito. Okay, 09 April, for example. Then, yung address siya lagi sa top management, no? For example, sa managing director. Pero since na si managing director, alam naman natin na meron tinatawag na delegation of authority, ang magiging instruction, for example, sa quality, i-address mo attention to supervisor, for example. Then yung location, as I mentioned, no, sa mga slides ko. Then yung safety inspection report for your corrective action, yan yung po yung subject mo, no? Bakit corrective action ang ginamit mo? But for your action, but hindi pwedeng for your action lang o for your correction, no? Diba? Kasi magkaiba yung correction sa corrective action. Okay? Then yun, ano po ba yung mga reason, no? Occupational health and safety observation. Okay, during the inspection by the safety team this on 9th of April at the publication plant, no? Okay, we observed some safety issues that need action for us to improve a positive safety culture. Okay, then i-mention mo na yan, yung mga nilakalagay dito sa picture para recorded na siya. Kung meron ka environmental issue, no? Pwede mo siya i-type dito. Type mo siya. Then dapat yun, pipirma mo yung report. Kung meron kang manager o meron ka pang na immediate superior, dapat pirmahan niya rin, no? So, yan yung tinatawag na safety inspection notice o note, no? Okay? Then, pa-receive mo para may record ka. then it's up to you to decide whether kung ano yung level ng priority. It can be high, medium, or low, no? So yan po yan. Ganyan po. So ang sasabit mong document is going to be like this, no? Meron kang ano ba to? Form per se para sa issues and concern, no? Safety issues and concern. Ito yung attachment evidencing na based on your safety inspection, ito talaga yung mga dapat i-correct, no? And of course, if you want to at least have at least tawag na endorsement letter, no? Na parang ipapile mo, pwede ka rin gumawa, no? Igawa mo tong ganito. So yan po yung safety inspection notice or note na ini-implement natin. Okay, then we will come back to okay. Okay na po. Okay na ako? Nakabalik na ako? Okay. So, upon completion of the inspection, of course, magkakaroon ng management reviews. Okay. Okay, i-review ng management, ano ba yung naging mga problema natin. No? Of course, based sa safety inspection natin na kinonduct. No? So, do we have to conduct an audit, no? Para mas at least mas detailed, no? Do we need yung service ng external auditor, or we can do only the internal audit, no? For improvement. Okay, follow up, validate controls, then review implementation, no? Ano yung mga recommendation? Yung sa safety inspection note na yun, pwede ka rin mag-recommend. Pwede ka maglagay ng recommendation mo for them to at least easily take action, no? Mas madaling malaman nila. Kasi ang safety officer nga, as I said, no, we are also an advisor. Nagbibigay tayo ng advice, no, sa management. No? Then evaluate yung effectiveness. Once na naano mo yan, from time to time, meron ka ng past history ng inspection mo. Yung present, you have to conduct inspection again. Okay? Based sa past report mo, titingnan mo siya kung nangyayari pa o hindi. No? At kung tingin mo na kailangan pa ng mga control measure, additional control or suitable control measure, no? You have to recommend, no? Para naman in the future ay ma-ensure natin na we are complying with the law, we are achieving our targets or goal, no? And we are on the right track of meeting yung requirements, no? And as well as yung na-ensure natin na yung implementation ng safety management system natin ay effective, no? So yan po yan. Okay, then of course kung gusto mo naman na based sa history, no, periodic, no, umabot ng annual, meron kang annual report of your inspection, pwede kang makapag-refer ng SWOT analysis based sa inspection na nakonduct mo for the whole year, no? For example, ano ba yung naging strength ng company, no? So, and ano yung naging weakness niya, no? So, para at least yung ano mo, yung pagiging practitioner mo ay nagkakaroon ng idea si management na, oops, maganda mag-report to, maayos, maraming natutulong sa company to. Tuloy-tuloy ang kampanya natin, ang trabaho. So, pwede na ma-promote, no? From inspector to officer to manager or advisor, no? Diba? Yan na po yan. Nagay may opportunities. Okay? Sa SWOT analysis, tandaan nyo na laging internal ang strength and weaknesses natin. Then, yung opportunities and threats, laging sa labas yan, external yan. No? So, yun po yung sample yan na hindi ko i-elaborate lahat. But just to give you some input, no? Okay, for example, ano yung naging strength based sa inspection mo? Okay, HSE Safety Committee exists, no? Importante ba yon? Mandated ba yon? If you are working in the Philippines, yes, no? Under the DO-198, no? Sa Article 14, nandun siya. Article 13, I think, yung Safety Committee, requirement talaga siya. Diba? So, strength natin yun. Strength na ng organization yun. Ano yung naging weakness, no? If yung facility congested, no? Bakit? Siguro dahil the way we stored or store yung mga materials natin, wala tayong racking system, no? Laging obstructed yung access, no? So meron na kagad na unsafe conditions, no? Then yung opportunities, no? Ano yung mga opportunities? Sabi ko, external, no? Certification, no? For integrated management system. May mga available na mga company para i-certify yung ano mo, yung organization mo, no? Then yung increasing demands ng product nyo, no? Yan, yung mga ano yan, external yan. Then yung threats. Ano ba yan nagiging threats, no? Okay, external quality and safety being imposed by competitor, no? Meron kang company, maganda, malaki, pero wala kang quality and safety. Eh yung competitor mo meron, no? So threat na kagad ng company yun. No? So ito po yung mga example, no? So ito yung magiging output ng whole year na pagkakandak mo ng safety inspection. So thank you. Eksakto po, eksakto ko 1 oras. Kalahati pala. Okay, isang oras at 1 and 15 minutes. So kung meron po kayong mga tanong, pwede nyo na pong itanong po. Sige po. Maraming salamat po. Meron po ba tayong tanong? Hello? Andiyan pa ho ba kayo? Pwede nyo yung i-open yung ano nyo po. I-unmute kung meron po kayong tanong.
Press, i-share ko lang.
Sige po.
Marami kasing mga magagaling na mga inspector, pero kapag meron ng mga na-identified na mga flaws sa system o yung for corrective actions, usually yung iba, lalo na sa subcon, yung top management nila, hindi nagko-comply, laging sinasabi cost implication. So i-share natin kung ano yung pwede nating matulungan yung mga kasamahan natin kung paano nila maika-counter tong ganitong sistema. Alam naman natin na normal yan, lalo na sa construction. Yun po.
Sige, pwede mo bang bigyan ng isang magandang malupitan na technique, no? At least to counter.
Sir, pwede kasi natin i-connect kung sa history ng mga accident. Kung hindi magko-comply, magkakaroon ng ka-accident. And then lalaki yung cost. Plus, pwede bang masira yung reputation, yung mabigyan tayo ng prohibition notice ng mga regulatory. Yun po yung mga iba. And then, i-insights mo siya sa mga accidents records. Yun po siguro yung isa sa mga approach. And then, yung mga fines na pwedeng makuha ng kumpanya kung di sila magko-comply.
Ayos. Thank you, Boss Raul, no. In addition sa sinabi ni kasamang Raul, no. As a safety dapat siguro yung sinasabi ko lagi, dapat maganda rin yung PR mo no. Meron kang convincing power using yung mga sinabi ni si Raul, no, sa management. Kasi ako when I started working as a safety officer, no, ang una kong pinag-aaralan yung culture ng ng organization, to the point na I make sure na bago ako umalis sa isang company na-reach ko yung 1 or 2 years ng service ko sa kanila, may nabago ako sa culture. And one of the tool that I've done yung safety inspection nga. No? Apo. Sige po, meron po ba kayong clarification or violent reaction? Sir Y, are you still there? Vice Anton?
Pero magdadagdag lang ako dun sa nabanggit ni Sir Raul.
Okay.
Gaya ng sinabi ni Sir Raul, marami tayong mga, we can say, competent inspectors. Matagal na panahon na nagserbisyo sa health and safety at maaaring mas kabisado pa sa atin kumpara sa mga regulators yung batas ng Dubai or sa Pilipinas man. Pero one thing is common na dapat na kailangan tignan ay yung paggawa ng inspection report. Not everyone are inclined in writing, especially for technical people. Sabi nga nila, ang Waterloo o yung kahinaan typically of a technical person is the language, whether it is verbal or in writing. The worst case scenario that may happen for a inspector is that he will be quoted or misrepresented by the report that he has made. So isa ito sa lagi kong binibigay na paalala sa mga staff ko when they are submitting reports to me whenever they are asking for my evaluation, is that whenever you are making a report, make sure that you first submit that report to someone who doesn't know anything at all about your report. Kung pwede mo ang ibigay yan sa lolo, sa lola mo, o sa kapitbahay mo na walang kaalam-alam related sa health and safety, and they manage to explain, to tell you, not exactly to explain, but just to tell you the content of that, to verify whether what they understood from your report is exactly what you wanted to impart, then that report will serve its purpose for talking or for representing you before the management, because that's the essence of making the report. In your absence, the report should speak for yourself. Ang nagiging problema, hindi naman sa nilalahat ko, although maraming magagaling na mga Pilipino as far as English language is concerned, but as far as verbal, verbal at the same time, yung iba nga pati in writing, mahina. Alam, walang no doubt, maalam nila kung ano yung trabaho nila, but unfortunately, they could not be able to relay that in writing. So yun ang nagiging malaking hindrance for the management to appreciate the efforts that have been done by our safety professionals or safety practitioners. So siguro, it may not, you may consider it as a soft skill or a human skill, but it is very relevant and very significant in performing your function as a safety inspector. Kasi yun nga from the word inspector, you need to develop a system in such a way, or mechanisms in such a way that you will relay the outcome of your job, of your work. And in that way, that is the report that you are submitting to the management. Maganda sir yung mga pinakita ninyo mga samples, especially on how to develop the inspection report. As a benchmark, someone who's neophyte or newbie in this field can adapt that. But at the end of the day, kung barok-barok ang English mo at lalo na nasa ibang bansa ka, baka dumiretso lang yan sa basurahan. So the management doesn't have time to understand, especially translate in your own understanding kung ano man yung laman noon. So in the short note, kumbaga in the short note lang po ng gusto kong sabihin is sometimes in relation to learning about safety, mag-aral din po tayo ng language, especially verbal and writing skills as far as communication is concerned. Kasi maraming matatalino, maraming magagaling na hindi nila na papakita ito. Hindi naman fortune tellers yung mga taong nakaharap sa iyo to read your minds. Your mind. So, yun ang napaka-importante. At sabi ko nga, lagi kong sinasabi sa mga staff ko, bago mo ipasa sa akin yung report na yan, makailang beses mong ibigay mo yan sa ibang tao, at kapag parehas ang pagkakaintindi nila sa gusto mong pasabi, then saka mo isubmit sa akin yan. Kasi baliwala, parehas lang tayo mag-aaksaya ng panahon. Kapag binigay mo sa akin yan, at maaaring iba pa yung pagkaka-interpret ko, which leads to misrepresentation in the first place. So, yun lang po. Thank you po.
Thank you. Akala ko sir, pinagpo-push up mo yung staff mo pag hindi naka-comply ng magandang report. So, sino po, meron pa ba kayong tanong, clarification, no? Pero tama yung sinabi ho ni, ni Sir Roy. No? Marami dito. Actually, I was surprised nung nagtrabaho ko sa fabrication. Meron tayong mga skilled worker, yes. Unfortunately, they cannot even write your name. No? I mean, na-surprise ako na meron palang ganun. But somehow, meron naman sila skill na yun naman talaga yung nila significant skills nila. Kaya sila na-hire. No? Pero sa isang safety practitioner, talagang importante na magaling. Kaya sinasabi ko, aside from convincing skills, public relation, meron kang management skills, decision-making skills, yung communicating skills. Tama yung mga na-mention na yun. So, nag-comment dito si si Sir Arnel, kahit anong klaseng trabaho, basta supervising authority, you need to be proficient in technical writing. Correct, no? Kasi top management or your boss could not act, no, or change some process by just using word of mouth. You need hard documents, convey, and prove a point. Thank you, Sir Arnel. So wala na po. Wala na po kayong dagdag or tanong, no? Sabi pa po si Angelo, no? Hi sir, good day po. Hingi lang po ako ng advice on what trainings or certificate po ang mga needed take to become a safety practitioner, no? Currently po, I'm a graduating student, business engineering, and plan ko po mag-pursue maging safety, no? So, kung nasa Pilipinas ka po, gusto mo mag-practice dyan, ipurso mo po yung yung prescribed training, no? Yung BOSH, COSH, saka yung 48 hours, no? Actually, sa 48 hours, hindi yata na-mention, no? Kung international naman, gusto mo mag-practice ng safety, I suggest na kumuha ka kung sa Middle East, no? Kumuha ka ng NIBOSH. Kung sa Canada naman, meron silang tinatawag na CSRP yata yan, no? Meron silang mga trainings doon na pwede mong i-inquire para at least makapag-practice ka. Pero kung maganda yung plano mong yan, no? Pagsabay mo yung practical tsaka yung mga trainings na kailangan mo. Yun lang ang ma-advise ko sa'yo. Tsaka mag-join ka rito sa PILSA. Iga-guide ka namin. Kami po ay na-create, no, para tumulong mag-develop ng mga competent safety practitioners, no, para naman may pagmalaki natin yung mga Pilipino na tayo may ibubuga, no, sa larangan ng safety. So yun lang po. Kung meron pa ba kayong clarification po or tanong po? Okay, good day. Minsan masipag ka man Manila as a safety officer, pero yung management 3 months to 4 months delay ang sahod. Parang pasaway ng mga tao. Totoo yan, no? Kaya nga meron tayong labor code, no? At kung bilang safety officer, aware ka dapat kung kailan ka pwedeng lumapit sa labor, no? Although masakit maisipin, no, yung totoo, yung katotohanan na sa atin sa bansa natin, pag nag-complain ka, mas mapapag-initan ka, mawawalan ka pa ng trabaho. So it's just like moro-moro, no, na parang takutan, o kung willing ka talaga na na ireklamo yung company, 'di ba? Mako-compromise naman yung trabaho mo. Naintindihan ko yung sitwasyon mo, bro, no? Pero marami pa rin naman diyang company, no? So for now, as a safety officer, i-convince mo yung isip mo, yung sarili mo, no? Not just only parang nasa training ground ka lang. Yung nare-receive mo sa kanila ay hindi sweldo. It's just an allowance, no? Na sa pag-aaral mo sa kanila bilang safety practitioner, na napapractice ka, na-expose ka sa hazard identification, sa inspection, sa management system, sa paggawa ng mga reports, no, sa communication. So, siguro malaking factor 'yon para maging successful ka na safety officer, no, in the future. No? Wag ko kayong maya ngayon kung meron talaga kayong complaint sa sa labor regarding sa company, i-PM nyo ako. Ibubulong natin sa isang labor inspector para naman ma-inspect ko sila or ma-verify yung mga complaint niyo po. Kasi meron din naman tayong mga kakilala dyan sa DOLE. Yun lang po. Wala na po ba kayong tanong? Pakibukas na lang po yung mga video
Hello,
nyo.
sir.
Hello, sir. Apo, sino po yan? Sir Jamel. Apo.
Yes, sir. Bali po, sir, based on my sir, experience ko, sir, yung management support, sir. For example, yung sa nangyari sa akin nung nasa Hyundai ako, itong ibang equipment namin, medyo yung D-certified. Medyo tapos dinulog ko sa mata sa manager namin, hindi inaksyonan. Pero ginawa ako ng report. Yun na lang ang inano ko sa kanila dahil dapat sinusuportahan tayo ng top management para maging maayos yung ating trabaho, maging safe. Eka nga.
Totoo yung sinabi ni Sir Jamel, no? Maraming ganyang sitwasyon na ina-alert mo, no, yung company, no, to comply at least, no. But sometimes ang best way for you to encourage, no, yung support ng management is to use yung yung mga requirements ng batas. Ano po ba yung requirements ng batas? But if you are only just proposing yung additional expenses like to be certified in ISO, no, I'm not saying na wag dapat or hindi siya priority, no. Pero let's just focus on the implementation ng safety management system using the ISO standards, but later on na yung gastos, no, in certification. Yung nabanggit ni Sir, tama yun, no. Kung meron kang mga concern regarding sa equipment, no, kunin mo yung code of practice, halimbawa kung nasa Abu Dhabi ka, o yung mga guidance naman sa DM, and use it as a tool, no, para ipakita mo sa company niyo. Nangyari rin sa akin 'yan, no. Hindi ko sinasabi na, sir, kailangan natin gawin 'to, no. Ang sinasabi ko, sir, ito po yung mandatory requirements. Ito po yung sinasaad ng batas. Are you willing to comply or not? Ipasa mo yung bola sa kanila and let them decide, no. Kasi kung parang ini-insist mo, no, na iba yung reaction kaya nga like kung sinasabi, ang technique, no, dapat alamin mo muna yung culture ng organization mo. Kung hindi sila compliant, baliwala sa kanila, second priority nila ang safety, at nandiyan ka lang para display, try to make or find a way na baguhin yun, yung kultura na meron doon. And later on, kung tingin mo talaga na walang chance na mabago yun, pag-practice mo yung mag-implement ng safety to the point na makakahanap ka rin ng right company for you na at least, wag niyo susukuan, no? Hindi porke si company hindi ka sinusuportahan. You will just stop and not doing your task, no, as a safety practitioner, no? Ganyan po yan. Okay, sir, kasama ba sa inspection report yung incident ng bugbugan, no, at away sa site, no? No, actually, it's an incident report already, no? Hindi siya inspection report. It is a incident report na yan. Once it happened, then for you to at least prevent yung ganyang situation, following the hierarchy of control, no, you have to follow yung tinatawag na admin control, no. It's more on procedural, no, to at least i-restrict yung mga ganyang behavior ng mga employees, no, na nagiging bugbugan. Actually, kanina na-mention yan, no, na maraming mga city officer after umuwi, no, after ng duty, inaano sila, binubugbog, no, sa labas, no. So may isang panawagan sa police community na tulungan yung mga kabaro natin na safety at protektahan. So tuloy lang po kayo sa PhilSA. Marami pong magagawa pa ang organisasyon para sa inyo. Kami naman po ay SEC registered, no. Legit po itong organization na to at i-extend po namin ang pagtulong sa Pilipinas, no, tulungan niyo kami, invite niyo yung kanina nagbanggit na estudyante na gusto maging safety, invite mo lahat ng kaklase mo. Tuturuan namin kayo. Ngayon, kung gusto mo ma-expose, magturo ka rito. Gusto mo mag-present, alalayan ka namin. Ganyan po kaganda yung layunin ng organisasyon na ito po.